Tonight on Global TV News Prime. Federal government predicts flooding in 11 states, urges evacuations. In business, Nigeria's trade surplus soars 44% in second quarter of 2025 as non-oil exports surge on the foreign scene. Anti-immigration rallies sparks clashes and public outcry in London. And tonight in sports, Nigeria's Ajayi breaks 18-year jinx in Tokyo, zooms into World Championships 100-meter final. Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe, reminding all of our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Tonight, let's begin by telling you the federal government has warned that 32 locations across 11 states, including Adamawa, Benue, Nasarawa, Taraba, Delta, Niger, Kebbi, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara states may experience heavy rainfall and flooding between September 14 and 18, 2025. National Flood Early Warning Center cautioned that rising water levels in rivers Gongola, Benue, and Niger pose significant risks to floodplain communities. Authorities have also urged state governments and emergency agencies to act quickly to mitigate the impact and ensure timely evacuation of residents. In a different development, the federal government has announced plans to scale up the National Homegrown School Feeding Program to reach 50 million primary school children by 2026. According to Dr. Aderemi Adebowale of the National Social Investment Program Agency, the initiative will cover primaries 1 to 6 pupils and gradually include adult school children. She noted that each meal, projected to cost between 500 and 1,000 naira, will be sourced through partnerships with smallholder farmers and supply chain stakeholders to guarantee nutritious and affordable meals. The World Health Organization, WHO, says Nigeria and 11 other countries have reported major cholera outbreaks in 2024, each recording more than 10,000 suspected and confirmed cases. The organization's data indicates that the other countries are Bangladesh, Comoros, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Somalia, South Sudan, Tanzania, Yemen, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. In its latest updates, WHO noted that the 7th cholera pandemic continued to expand last year with a total of 560,823 cases and 6,028 deaths reported from 60 countries, which show an increase from 45 countries in 2023. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has suspended its 5-day warning strike 2 days after it began. President of the association, Dr. Tokbe Oshundara, disclosed this in a WhatsApp message stating that the association has also given the federal government an additional 2-week ultimatum to meet its demands. President Bola Tinubu has been urged to ignore calls to remove the Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim. The call was made by protesters who stormed the office of the Civil Service of the Federation and Ministry of Women Affairs, calling on Tinubu and Head of Service, Dr. Didi Esther Walsinjak, to ignore the call to remove the minister. Some aggrieved civil servants had staged the protests, accusing the minister of neglecting their welfare. Away from Abuja now, President Bola Tinubu has flagged off the second phase of the Makurdi 9th Mile Dualization Project, a $950 million highway expected to boost trade, agriculture, and connectivity between the north, central, and southeast regions. Global TV's correspondent Felicity Inderi has details for us.
The city of Makurdi came alive as Governor Hyacinth Alia, on behalf of President Tinubu, unveiled the second phase of the Makurdi 9th Mile Dualization Project, a 260-kilometer stretch translating into 520 kilometers of dual carriage.
But I'm happy that today the governor of Benue State will flag off this very important flyover.
With a financing value of $950 million from China Exim Bank, Governor Hyacinthe Alia described the project as a game changer, stressing its potential to boost agriculture, commerce, and regional integration.
Our farmers are now getting into different frames of farming, including vegetables, which by the advent of this road, they'll be able to harvest in the morning, get over to Abuja to do their fresh farm sales. And it's one of the great economic experience we're going to have.
The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, says the project stands as one of the most ambitious legacy road projects under the Tinubu's administration.
This flyover was never in the budget, but it's a gift of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Governor. And I'm happy with, Wang, because I was coming to make a fight. The governor requested for this, he has paid compensation, so why wouldn't we do it?
The contractors, China Harbour Construction Company, assured timely delivery, provided compensation, and land acquisition challenges are addressed.
And our strategy is to do the work simultaneously. Every section we do the work together so we can do it efficiently. And I want to give my assurance, we want to work it very fast.
Governor Alia later joined the Works Minister, Senator Dave Umahi, to inspect other federal projects in Makurdi, including the Makurdi-Boko Road and the high-level underpass. Upon completion, the Makurdi 9-mile dualization is expected to open up Benue's agricultural hub, enhance regional trade, and ease travel across economic corridors linking the north central to the southeast and beyond. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
We do sincerely appreciate it for your reporting tonight, Felicity Ndere. Minister of Youth Development Ayodele Olawande has urged Nigerian youths to participate in the federal government's Youth Economic Intervention and De-Radicalization Program to address youth underemployment, economic marginalization, and exclusion. The minister, who was represented by Director of Finance and Accounts, Dr. Warrens Augusta, spoke at Rivers State Stakeholders Engagement Forum held in Port Harcourt, the state capital. He noted that the program initiation has a commitment by the federal government to tackle unemployment, poverty, and radicalization among young people, issues threatening the country's socio-political stability, national security, and economic development. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has pledged his full support for the growth and development of the newly established Federal University of Health Sciences and Technology. Speaking during the official inauguration of the Pioneer Vice-Chancellor in Abuja, the governor described the institution as a life-changing project that will open new frontiers in human capital development and healthcare delivery for the people of the community and beyond. Represented by Head of Service Yakubu Sani Haidara, the governor explained that the establishment of the university would not only expand access to advanced medical training, but also position Zamfara State as a strategic hub for healthcare innovation. Peer influence remains one of the most powerful forces shaping the lives of young people across the globe, and Nigeria is no exemption. While it sometimes drives positive change, experts warn it can also lure youths into destructive choices. In this special report, Global Television's Kabir Hassan hits the streets of Abuja to hear firsthand from young Nigerians on this everyday reality. Details for you subsequently. In the meantime, you're watching Global Television, and this is the live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agmofwebe. When the rest of the broadcast returns shortly, anti-immigration rally sparks clashes and public outcry in London. We have those details coming, plus business and sports stories for you on the other side. Please stay with us. Well, thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us. The second part of News Prime tonight returns with business. Nigeria's external trade surplus rose sharply by 44% to 7.46 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2025, driven by higher non-oil and manufactured goods exports. The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, reported that total exports hit 22.75 trillion naira, with manufactured exports surging 173% to 803.8 billion naira and solid minerals climbing 31% to 77.3 billion naira, as imports fell marginally to 15.29 trillion naira. Despite oil and gas still accounting for over 85% of exports, the rise in refined petroleum products, manufactured goods, and agricultural shipments signaled gradual diversification of the country's economy. The federal government says it has taken decisive steps to harness Nigeria's vast gas wealth after the African Export-Import Bank and the Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund signed a landmark Memorandum of Understanding to mobilize up to $500 million for critical gas infrastructure projects. The agreement, announced in a statement from Cedros Group Africa, was signed on the sidelines of the Intra-African Trade Fair in Cairo, Egypt, facilitated by Cedros Group Africa. The deal sets out a plan to raise funds over 4 years to support midstream and downstream projects. And now let's take you to the foreign scene. From London, where tensions erupted during a large protest. The gathering led to clashes between protesters and police, as well as counter-protests from community groups advocating for tolerance and inclusion. Our international correspondent, Edikan Michael, has details.
Netanyahu spoke to journalists during a visit to Jerusalem's Western Wall after offering prayers at the religious sites alongside Rubio and Washington's envoy to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
Secretary of State of the United States.
We sincerely apologize for the mix-up in that film. Global Television will continue to track the developments around the protest in London for you. But let's turn to Israel now, where Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says the visit by top United States diplomat Marco Rubio to Israel underscores the strength of ties between the allies, days after an unprecedented Israeli strike targeting Hamas leaders in Qatar drew broad criticism.
Netanyahu spoke to journalists during a visit to Jerusalem's Western Wall after offering prayers at the religious sites alongside Rubio and Washington's envoy to Israel, Mike Huckabee.
Secretary of State of the United States, Marco Rubio, and his wife, Jana. I think his visit here is a testament to the durability, the strength of the Israeli-American alliance. It's as strong and as durable as the stones of the Western Wall that we just touched under President Trump and Secretary Rubio and their entire team. This alliance has never been stronger.
The Israeli Prime Minister has defended the operation, which targeted Hamas officials gathering to discuss a new U.S. ceasefire proposal, saying killing the group's leaders would remove what he had termed the main obstacle to ending the Gaza war. The attack on the U.S. ally and key mediator in Gaza truce talks has prompted Arab and Muslim leaders to gather for a show of solidarity in Doha, where Qatar's Prime Minister urged the world to reject double standards and hold Israel to account. U.S. leader Donald Trump has rebuked Israel over Tuesday's strike, and Rubio acknowledged to reporters before departing Washington that the president was not happy about it. He, however, insisted that the attack would not change the nature of America's relationship with the Israelis. Rubio's main meetings with officials, including Netanyahu, will take place on Monday before he departs on Tuesday. His visit coincides with Monday's emergency summit of Arab and Muslim leaders in Qatar, whose Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani had addressed a preparatory meeting on Sunday. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Away from politics now, the World Health Organization, WHO, has begun administering Ebola vaccines in Kasai province of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where an outbreak was declared earlier this month. An initial 400 doses of the available vaccine have been deployed from the country's 2,000 dose stockpile, while approval has been given for an additional 45,000 doses to strengthen containment efforts. With 20 confirmed cases, 16 deaths, and concerns of possible cross-border spread, the organization's officials have warned that timely intervention is critical to preventing the outbreak from escalating further. Well, time to turn to sports for you. Nigerian sprinter Koyinshola Ajayi has qualified for the men's 100-meter final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, becoming the first Nigerian in 18 years to achieve the feat. Ajayi, who turned 21 on Sunday, clocked 9.93 seconds in the semi-final to finish just behind Olympic champion Noah Lyles, while compatriot Israel Okon fell short after placing 7th in his heat. The youngster, already Nigeria's third fastest man in history, is eyeing a podium finish when the final holds later. Manchester City have inflicted a 3-0 defeat on Manchester United at the Etihad Stadium in a commanding derby display. The goals came first from Phil Foden in the 18th minute via a header from Jeremy Doku's cross. Then Erling Haaland netted a brace, one in the 53rd minute after a clever pass from Doku, and the second in the 68th following a turnover sparked by Bernardo Silva. United offered a few chances but were ultimately outclassed, and City's win lifts them up the Premier League table while adding further pressure on Ruben Amorim at United. Real pressure indeed. Mohamed Salah's stoppage time penalty has handed Liverpool a dramatic 1-0 win over Burnley, sealing their 4th straight victory of the season. Burnley had frustrated their visitors by most of the match, even after going down to 10 men in the 84th minute, while Leslie Ugochukwu was sent off, but a late handball by Hannibal Mejbri gifted Liverpool the breakthrough. Salah converted from the spot in the 95th minute to extend Liverpool's unbeaten run and keep them top of the Premier League table with 12 points, 3 ahead of Arsenal. Tonight, let's end News Prime with a look at some of our big stories. The federal government has warned that 32 locations across 11 states, including Adamawa, Benue, Nasarawa, Taraba, Delta, Niger, Kebbi, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, and Zamfara, may experience rainfall and flooding between September 14 and 18, 2025. In business, Nigeria's external trade surplus have risen sharply by 44.3% to 7.46 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2025, driven by higher non-oil and manufactured goods exports. And beyond our shores, more than 110,000 people protesting against immigration have marched through the United Kingdom's capital, London, in one of the country's biggest right-wing demonstrations, with some protesters clashing with the police and wounding at least 26 officers. And finally, in sports tonight, we told you Nigerian sprinter Koyinshola Ajayi has qualified for the men's 100-meter final at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, becoming the first Nigerian in 18 years to achieve the feat. And that's Global TV News Prime for you tonight. As always, we would like to remind our viewers that we are on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We encourage you to engage, subscribe, and follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG, as well as other handles now showing on your screen. On behalf of my colleagues who have made tonight's broadcast possible, I'm Uyi Agmofwegbe, wishing you a very productive week ahead. Good night.